I might just have to switch the slides manually. All right, whatever. So be it. So we got 9 different shows here. We got, oh, those red lines are going to bother the hell out of me this whole time. But it's too late. It's too late. It's too late. I just have to live with them. Okay, so we got 9 shows so far, and this is pretty common knowledge already. So we have the Duel, Lop and Ocho, I don't know, Tatooine Rhapsody, the Twins, the Elder, the Village Bride, Akakiri, T0B1, and the Ninth Jedi. And I'm pretty sure T0B1 is they're gonna end up calling him Toby for sure. I feel like that's pretty obvious, but that's my first prediction. Okay. So let's get into the first show. The first show we have here is The Duel. So The Duel is produced by Kamikaze Doga. They're a pretty big production studio, and I am really excited about them because they made JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the full name. If you haven't seen it, it's fantastic. Some people like it, some people don't like it, but the point is that it is a massive anime. A lot of people are watching it, and they have a very big studio, and they know what they're doing. So I have 3 things we're going to cover in every subject. We have the producer, what they're best known for, and the show's theme. Okay, so what they're best known for is JoJo, and I included Batman Ninja. It's just one movie. It's on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on Netflix or not, but the reason that I wanted to bring up Batman Ninja is because it is a combination of combining 2 cultures. It combines Batman, which is very much a westernized, cartoon, and it's made Eastern, right? It's combining both of those worlds. So that is just an example of how this company has a little bit of experience doing this kind of thing, combining 2 different genres or 2 different art forms. Okay, so the show's theme. Now, this is something that I just collected from general information. Selflessness and selfishness and selflessness, or good and evil. We don't know a ton about this other than it's called The Duel, and we don't really know who the duel is between. Okay, what we do know is that the show will be in black and white entirely, but there will be some highlights in it. So, for example, you can see by this guy's lightsaber here, or I'm not even sure if they're going to call them lightsabers. They look like samurai sword hilts with a red blade on it. But the point is that that's what the show is going to look like. It's going to be black and white with some highlighted colors. I think that's going to look really good. I think that there's a lot of potential there and a lot of beauty when you just highlight just certain things, right? Just the most important things or the things that are supposed to stand out. That black and white plus a highlighted color will make all the fight scenes or any scenes where a lightsaber is out, it's going to make it really beautiful. I'm really excited to see that. So, like I said, it's going to be a Japanese Western. It's called The Duel. It's influenced by that Western theme of like Western showdowns. When they got their guns and they pull them at the same time. What's like a standoff, right? It's been influenced by that. So, it's called The Duel. I'm sure we can expect The Duel to be the pinnacle of the show. That being said, it's called The Duel, so I wonder if it's going to be like how many duels are there going to be? Is there going to be a duel every episode? It's a 1 episode thing. So the whole project could be half the episode could be a duel, which is awesome, right? It's not going to be a build up to it. It's just going to be there. That's kind of the good thing about getting one show that I totally lost my train of thought. One show in each project, we can expect the best for that one show, right? They're not going to dangle some good stuff in front of us and make us wait for it and have filler. It's all going to be there. It's all going to be good. So I have a quote here that I found. It's one of the best things that I could find to explain the show. The Jedi versus the Sith and the Rebels versus the Empire are common parts of Star Wars lore. But what if some random person in an unknown corner of the universe got a hold of a lightsaber or some of that power on his own? So take what you will from that. I'm pretty sure that this project is going to be connected to a novel that's also coming out. Okay, so that is The Duel. Next show. Okay. I was hoping I could do this in presentation mode, but I guess it's not working. So, Lop and Ocho, or Ocho. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I'm sure we'll find out. So you see here we have all the blue boxes with pictures, and we have the yellow borders on the pictures. So the yellow borders are examples of past anime made by the previous company, just to give you a bit of an idea. Yeah, Jedi Machios, you're right. They got one shot to make it good. And what I'm kind of thinking is they're going to take the best show and make a full series out of it. That's kind of my prediction. But so Geno Studio or Twin Engine, I'm not sure what the difference is, but they're often combined. They're best known for Golden Kamui. And that show is about, I believe it's something to do with the gold rush in times of war, like early 1900s kind of a thing. So that's what that show's about, and that's their biggest hit, basically. The show's theme is about imperial industrialization. That's what I summarized it as. But basically, what we do know is that the Empire settles on this planet at some point between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. So we know that's where it is in the timeline. It's post Order 66. So the Empire is going to settle down on this planet, and this planet is very nature themed. Okay, there's lots of trees and bushes and rivers and mountains and valleys. It's going to be a very nature-esque planet. So that combination of nature versus technology, it's going to be a clash, and that's where we see, this what's the word? Animal humanoid, bunny humanoid, if I'm saying that right. She's going to be a main character, and she's a bunny person, right? That's very nature anchored. So what we know about the show is that there is a Yakuza-esque daughter named Ocho. Okay, and that's what I think is this girl right here. If you can see her, she is totally losing my train of thought today. I think I'm just got a lot of thoughts in my head right now. She's the daughter of a Yakuza-esque father, or she's a part of the Yakuza. So if you're not familiar, the Yakuza is like a Japanese version of a gang. Okay, they're like, or the mafia, I should say, like a mob. So I'm assuming that she's the daughter of this guy, right? And he's Yakuza. He's a big name in the Yakuza. It's not called the Yakuza in Star Wars. It's like the Yakuza. It's going to be called something else. So I'm assuming that the Empire is going to come to this planet, and this guy is going to be among the other leaders that are going to, work with the Empire and be like, we have to work together to make this happen. And then Ocho meets this enslaved orphan named Lop, and we know the bunny's name is Lop. So is she enslaved by the Empire? Probably. Maybe the Empire sees these animals as less than human, but I mean, Star Wars is full of aliens, but maybe not in this universe, right? Because this isn't canon. So, I mean, we don't know what kind of slavery we're talking here. Maybe it's forced labor. Wait, that's slavery. But anyway, this conflict that we're seeing in this picture right here makes me think that she's arguing on behalf of Lop, right? She's trying to pull her out of slavery, and her dad is saying, like, no, we have to work together with the Empire. Our hands are tied. It's going to be some kind of situation like that. So that's my prediction. It's going to be similar to Ryloth or Lothal. If you guys remember, Ryloth was the last 2 episodes of Bad Batch before that terrible filler, where they were on Hera's planet, and Lothal, if you watch Star Wars Rebels, that's Ezra's planet. So the Empire settled down there and has taken control of the planet. So that's going to be a similar feel to this one. So I think that about does it. Just going over the pictures here, we know some kind of duel is going to happen here. This guy's definitely not going to be the villain. There's lots of concept art out there of some pretty cool characters. Like we have an Imperial officer, very obvious here, and we have a security droid, and we have a Dark Trooper making an appearance in anime, which is going to be super badass. I can't wait for that. Lop has this droid following her around from a lot of the concept art. So at first I thought the droid might be like Ocho, but I think it's just going to be a droid. I'm not really sure what the deal is with this pink visor. This looks very Dragon Ball Z-esque. If you remember the over 9,000, Vegeta takes it off and crushes it in his hands. So people who don't watch DBZ, you're probably even familiar with this, with the Scouter. So at first I was thinking maybe this was made by the people who did Dragon Ball Z, but I really don't think so. Well, I know so because they're not making it, but at first I thought so. And the art style looks pretty similar. So there's a lot of concept art for all of these shows. I just included the pictures that I wanted to highlight for the stream. Hey, what's up, Sev? Good to see you. Good to see you. Um, hang on. There we go. Spirited Away. Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. I know a little bit about that movie. I haven't totally seen it. I haven't like seen the whole thing. I've just seen bits and pieces. I know it's an anime classic, so I'm kind of a bad anime fan that I haven't seen that one. Okay. She's got an umbrella on her back. I know it's like there's someone here with the lightsaber, and it looks like her. So is she going to be like Rey? She's going to start off with a staff, like she's going to use this umbrella as her weapon, and then eventually she's going to get a lightsaber. Um, her this guy, who I'm assuming is the dad of her, looks like he some kind of initiation, some kind of ritual, very a part of Japanese culture. So who knows what they're doing there, what kind of ceremonies happening there. Maybe he's he's um, he's anointing her a Jedi or something. Who knows, right? But this scene looks very important, and it was one of the earliest pieces of concept art that we got. So I think that there's going to be a lot to that one. All right, let's move on to the next one. One more thing I wanted to say about this show is that um, when the teaser came out, the preview, I was like, "What is this animal humanoid garbage? Like this looks dumb." But the more that I've looked into it, the show looks really interesting, and I think that she's kind of an adorable character, and I could see her becoming a fan favorite. I'm just saying it. People are skeptical about the bunny. I'm predicting that she's going to very quickly become an iconic Star Wars character that people are going to love. Jedi Machios, maybe training. It's a good point. That's a good point. Could be some kind of training. Guess we won't know, but it does look very much like something very important is happening there. So he looks like he could be, I'm just going back and forth here, a reluctant leader, reluctant sensei. She's trying to convince him. They're arguing over something, and she looks like she's caught in the middle. So there's a lot of other concept art, but I found this piece the most interesting. It tells us a lot, actually. Okay, Tatooine Rhapsody is the next show. So it was produced by Studio Colorado, Twin Engine. I think those were the same two companies. No, wait. So these are both Twin Engine. I'm not sure what that means, if that's like the parent company of both these different studios. As you know, like it'll say one studio, but all these studios branch off into all these different projects and teams. So, and whether something is produced by one studio, if that has anything to do with the writing team, the creative thinkers, I don't know if those things are connected at all. So if Studio Colorado is best known for Vinland Saga and Dororo, that doesn't mean that we don't know who's writing, we don't know who's a part of the creative heads. So just because they're best known for these pieces of work doesn't mean that it just doesn't tell us a lot. It just gives us a peek into the company. So Vinland Saga is it's like an English versus the Danes kind of show. And after looking into all these shows, I'm kind of really interested. I might actually start watching some of these, but it's an English versus the Danes, and there's some kind of promised land, and they're fighting over it or something. I haven't seen it. I've just looked into it. This show looks really interesting, but what excites me about these other animes is when I see blades, like melee weapons, because that tells me like, okay, I can trust these people with a lightsaber. I can trust them not to screw up a lightsaber scene. Right. Dororo actually looks really interesting. From this picture, it doesn't look very interesting, but it's about, well, I won't get into it, but the show is largely themed around a child. So I don't know what that, if that has anything to do with this show, because this show is in chibi anime style. And if you're not familiar with what chibi anime style is, everything is very squished. As we can see with Boba Fett here, he doesn't look like a full-size adult man. He looks like he's been squished into a little toy. So that's the style. So I don't know how much about this company, or if they do a lot of chibi stuff, but it seems like that was the route they wanted to go here. This kind of looks very much like a soul eater type animation, but they weren't a part of this. So this show is a Star Wars rock opera. So that it has something to do with this band that gets together and they want to make it big. They want to be galaxy wide known, and they probably got their start on Tatooine. So the whole, maybe half the show is going to build up to some big show, and then maybe they flash forward to them being a famous band, or maybe it's just the whole thing's about one big show, and they have little gigs throughout Tatooine. They're traveling from area to area of the planet. They're having these little shows trying to make it big. We do see Jabba here, and he's sitting, it looks like the pod racing stadium is where he's sitting, but I'm not sure. Maybe they're a halftime show for a pod race or something. But we know Jabba watches them, and if Jabba's watching them, then they have the eyes of somebody big on Tatooine. Who knows? Maybe he hires them to play in his little his home base or whatever, that sketchy sex dungeon that he calls his base on Tatooine. So who knows? We know Boba Fett's in the show. It's on Tatooine, so they kind of have to include Boba Fett and Jabba because Boba Fett works for Jabba. But I don't know what the hell either of these people are going to be doing in the show. You know what I'm saying? Hang on, I'm going to check comments here. Okay, I can't check them because my presentation is hiding the comments. So I think it's going to be a feel good show. It's going to be uplifting. It's going to be inspiring. It's going to be about following your heart, right? Probably that hope of making it big one day. That hope is going to be sprinkled in there. So that's kind of what we can expect from the show, I think. Let's move on to the next one. You know what? I keep forgetting to include what my thoughts are on the show. I'm not super looking for that banging. There's people upstairs moving heavy shit around. They've been at it for like 2 hours. I don't know what they're doing up there. Of all the shows, I'm excited that it's on Tatooine and that we're going to see some local favorites here. But in terms of am I excited for the show, it's pretty low on the scale. A rock opera with kids on Tatooine. It's just, I think it's going to be a nice little fun show, but it's low on my anticipation. Opposite of that is the Twins, very high on my anticipation scale. So the Twins are being produced by Trigger Studios, and Trigger Studios is most well known for Kill la Kill, Darling in the Franxx, which is a show that I actually really want to watch, and Little Witch Academia, Ghost in the Shell. These are all very big names. I've heard very good things about all the shows that I listed here. Kill la Kill is really important, and it really stands out because it is an entire show about sword fighting. Okay, and I put these pictures here back to back because they look very similar, right? Two swords clashing at close range, eye contact, staring each other down is going to be, it's going to be awesome. Okay, I think there's only going to be one lightsaber fight between them. Anyways, I should talk about the theme of the show. So they're dark side twins. Okay, this much most of us have already heard. We know that it's going to be a why, Sev? I've heard such good things about it. I've heard it's actually similar to Evangelion. I don't know anything about it. I just know that it's close, and I really like the Evangelion. So, yeah. So we know that it's going to be a parallel to Luke and Leia, that we're both born, you could say, to the light side. So there's going to be a lot of similar themes between them. So born to the light side, born to the dark side. So as we can see from this picture here, they're pretty high up in the Resistance. We know that it takes place after the rise of Skywalker. So this is, again, the shambles of the Empire, trying to build back, trying to hold together, trying to stay relevant. These twins are born to them, and I don't know what that means yet. Born to who? Who are the parents? I don't know, but they're born to the dark side. They're born to the Resistance, whatever. They're very strong with the Force, as we can see, and like they're parallel to Luke and Leia, so we can assume that they're going to be pretty powerful. And they look very young, but they've risen to a high rank. From the concept art, it looks like both of them become Inquisitors, or they're leaders of some sort. Most of the Inquisitor pictures that we've seen of them, she is the Inquisitor in most of them, and he is not wearing armor in most of them. So um, I'm not sure if they have a different rank, or he doesn't want to be an Inquisitor. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's a different kind of leader. Maybe she, the sister, is a higher rank than him. Maybe she's totally excelled, and he's always a little bit behind because he just doesn't totally buy in, right? A lot of speculation. So since they fight each other, a lot of us have put together, and there may have been some information about this that I read, I can't remember, but it looks like there's going to be a theme of him defecting to the light side and rescuing his sister from the dark. It seems like that's what he's going to be trying to do. He's going to realize that maybe the resistance, who are the current heroes, the resistance were right all along. He's going to realize that what they're doing is wrong, and he's going to try and rescue his sister from the dark side. But we can see from this picture here, she looks very cocky, very arrogant, which is very dark side-esque, right? She looks like she's not going to go without a fight, right? She probably loves her power, and she probably is going to want to stay in it and not want to defect to the light side. Why would she do that? And so I think that's all I have to say about this one. I am really looking forward to the show. It's top of the charts. I should have made like a little scale for all the shows I'm looking forward to, but this one already has my stamp of approval. I already know it's going to be a winner, and I think that's all I have to say about this one. So the next show was made also by Trigger Studios, The Elder, and this one, it seems the Star Wars community as a whole is the most excited about this one because of this picture right here, the Master and Padawan, and I think the reason people are looking forward to it is because it's something of a familiarity, right? It's something that, we know Master and Padawan. We already love that dynamic, and this show just expands on that. The people who created this show were talking about how they were expecting this, like they were expecting a lot of people who don't watch Star Wars or who are not into Star Wars, that Visions is going to be their entry to Star Wars. So a lot of people watching Visions, maybe from different cultures, from Japan, from China, from Asia, from anywhere else that aren't into it, like that are more in this culture, this is going to be their introduction. So a lot of these shows are taking a fresh approach, and they're taking that into consideration when they're making these shows. So I know that when the people who are making the show talked about how they considered that when they made the show, when they made the theme of the show, which is Master and Padawan, that it might be a good introduction to people who have never seen Star Wars before. So, very excited about this one. So we have Master and Padawan. That's pretty obvious here. We also have this villain here that we've seen from teasers and concept art. He's got two smaller lightsabers. They look like half swords. And what we do know is that the show is called The Elder. And what I found is that a lot of people are, like, from a quote, it's being interpreted that the show will end with a deeper meaning with the title The Elder. Okay, so the Elder, we know the Elder, like right away we can think the Elder is his master, right? He's the Elder in this duo, but we also know that the villain that we've seen so far, he's the oldest of all the concept art, oldest of everybody in it. So he could be the Elder. At some point, he's the Elder, maybe he's the Elder. I'm predicting that this guy, this is my predictions, not spoilers, but I'm predicting that this guy is gonna give his life fighting this guy, and then he's gonna become the Elder. You know, there's gonna be some deep theme about maturity and responsibility that I think is going to be really interesting, and this is very high up on my anticipation scale. Okay, these pictures I forgot to talk about. This is Darling in the Franxx. This is Ghost in the Shell. Both of them are extremely popular. A lot of people know Ghost in the Shell for its live-action movie with Scarlett Johansson. I've never seen it, but I've heard that it is freaking amazing. So, expecting really good stuff. This company knows how to do fighting, and they know how to do drama. So, I think it's going to be really good. This cockpit scene, I included this picture because I just love it. It just looks so Star Warsy. I'm just so looking forward to seeing Jedi again, not blaster heroes, not a little rebel faction. I'm looking forward to see the dynamic of Jedi again, Master and Padawan, how long has it been since we've seen a master and Padawan, right? Um, Mandalorian doesn't count because Grogu and Din or Grogu and Ahsoka or Luke and Grogu haven't showed up yet. In the sequel trilogy, we never got a master and apprentice with the Jedi. Don't tell me Luke and Rey. That doesn't count. That doesn't really happen. So, anyways, really excited to see this dynamic again. I know a lot of you guys are. Let's move on to the next show. So this one is called The Village Bride. It doesn't seem like a lot of people are very excited about this one. I think it's just because people don't know what the hell to expect. What is there a wedding? Is there a Star Wars wedding? What the hell is this? So it was produced by Kinema Citrus. Kind of a weird production, or a weird producer of anime name. They're best known for The Rising of the Shield Hero, which is this one right here, and Black Bullet, which I've heard really good things about, which is this one, and Made in Abyss. So these are both, they're fighting animes, right? Sword and shield, guns. So we already know that they know how to do combat. So it seems like a pretty I don't know, those are both kind of aggressive I haven't seen them, I'm just speculating. They seem like kind of both aggressive animes, which this is about a bride, so I'm still expecting a lot of conflict and combat in this show, even though it's called The Village Bride. Apparently it's going to be I didn't include a picture for this one, Made in Abyss. It's supposed to be very similar to that one, because Made in Abyss is an anime that has a lot to do with nature and beauty, and the beauty in nature. Apparently The Village Bride is supposed to do a lot of that beauty and nature kind of stuff. So what we do know, there's not a lot about the show, but we do know that it is going to be about Japanese culture and tradition. That's what I put down here. The creators of the show, they wanted to show that Star Wars is a very vast universe, and there is a lot of different customs and cultures out there, and they wanted to show like we see a lot of the action and the combat, and a little bit about the economy in Star Wars. We get to see how markets work. We get to see how trading works. We get to see that stuff. But what about this other side of it with, other customs, right? Like we saw Anakin and Padme get married. I'm racking my brain trying to think of a single other marriage in Star Wars. I can't really think of anything. If you guys can think of a Star Wars thing where people get married aside from Anakin and Padme, please let me know. Jedi Machios. Thurman's character was named the Bride in Kill Bill. Huh. Okay. I don't remember that show. Or that movie. I've seen that movie. That's an interesting point. So, this quote here does a good job explaining what the show could be about. The Guardian of Peace and Justice. So, the Guardian of Peace and Justice. Who do we know are the Guardians of Peace and Justice? Jedi, right? So we know a Jedi is going to be in the show, or I'm assuming anyway. Jedi Machios, Shmi, and Lars. We saw them get married. Did we see them get married? I can't remember. Maybe we did. The Guardian of Peace and Justice observes a local tradition in a far-off village through the eyes of a bride on the eve of her wedding day, and an unexpected choice she must make to save her people. So we know that she is going to be between, she's going to be put in a position where she's going to have to choose something that she wants or what her people need, right? So it might be she's going to be choosing her fiance or her village, or the Jedi's life, or her own life for the Jedi, because the Jedi is the protector of the village, and he's more important than she is, or something. She's going to be in some position, and because there is a Jedi that is going to be here, or a Guardian of Peace, maybe he's not even going to have a lightsaber. Maybe he's just got a Jedi theme. He's been influenced to be like a Jedi. Maybe he's not a Jedi, but he is a Guardian of Peace like a Jedi. So in the concept art that I've seen, she is going to be the bride, I think. This woman on the top right. This woman, I don't know who she is, but she's in a lot of concept art. She's going to be important. Maybe she's a friend. This guy appears to be the Guardian of Peace. He's got a I forget what the robes are called. Like in Star Wars, we call them Jedi robes, but it's got an actual name in Japanese. Called, I can't remember what it's called now. I want to say kimono, but that feels wrong. Yep, can't remember. But anyway, he's got his hand on her head. I doubt that he's the one getting married, because he seems to be like he's going to be the observer. He's going to be watching from afar. Maybe he gets hired to protect her because people are trying to kill her because she's marrying a very powerful person, and maybe someone is sent to kill her or something. Anime nature is awesome. So this is very interesting for Star Wars. I think so. I think I agree with you. This is good. There's a lot of really cool potential here. So people aren't expecting much out of this anime, but this guy is kind of exciting me a little bit. I think that this, like, we see this person standing here and this person on the cliff. So maybe this is the bride, this is the guardian watching from afar, or maybe he's watching her from afar. Who knows? But they're going to have an interesting dynamic, and I think that this could do a lot of stuff for Star Wars, showing us some other things that go on in Star Wars that at first maybe we didn't think were interesting, but at the end of the day could be potentially very interesting. Okay, let's move on. So Akakiri was a show that I had a very hard time finding any information on. There doesn't seem to be a lot out there, but I found enough to talk about. So Akakiri is produced by Science Saru. It's best known for anime that I haven't heard a whole lot about. Devilman Crybaby, which is what these two pictures are from. It looks pretty cool, actually. The concept of it is something about like demons exist, but they can only survive if they take kind of like a person's host, kind of like they leech off a person because they can't survive on their own. But the person who accepts the demon into them, if they can overcome the demon, they can take all the demon's power, and the demon has no control or something like that. It seems like a really interesting show. I might actually take a look at it. Ping pong animation sounds pretty dumb, but it's actually really popular. I've heard really good things about it. It's like a really unique anime, and it's kind of famous in the anime world. I haven't seen it, but looks interesting. Keep your hands off Aizuken. I think, can't remember what that one's about. Anyway, so this show, which I had a really hard time finding anything about, is apparently it's a love story. Okay, it's about a Jedi and a princess's journey together. So what I've heard so far is that it's a beautiful story that has a bittersweet ending, or maybe it's going to have a sad ending, or it's building up to some kind of tragedy. So we know that this guy is going to be the Jedi because there's the most concept art about him. Here he is right here. I think this chick right here is going to be the princess because there's a ton of concept art about her. She doesn't really look like a princess to me, but hey, this is Star Wars, right? Anybody can look like anything. So of all the shows that we've seen so far, this one seems to have the most stunning visual beauty, right? All the screenshots and stuff, all the shots that make you go, wow, they all seem to be coming from this anime. Very clean, clear, crisp pictures of nature and buildings. It looks like almost like someone took a picture, right? This looks like an actual picture. So this show is going to be very aesthetic, I think. It's a love story, and just to touch on this Jedi and princess journey, it sounds, where did we have a Jedi and a princess? Luke was a Jedi, Leia was a princess. Okay, Anakin was a Jedi, Padme was what was her role? She was an ambassador. She was a political figure of some sort, but she was considered, I guess, royalty, right, on Naboo. So it's kind of like we've already had this kind of dynamic in Star Wars before. So this is this could be an interesting dynamic. So at first I wasn't that looking forward to it, but now I think that it could be really good. There's a lot of other concept art of like this big guy in the armor, or these other people. There's a lot of other art out there. I just included this one picture of all of them together. I found it to be the most interesting or most important, or tells us a lot about the show, because this concept art, there's not a lot that tells us about the show. There's a lot of stunning beauty, but that's about it. So next up, We have T-O, or is it T0? I can't remember. This font doesn't help. She was a queen. She was a queen on Naboo? Really? I'm blanking on some stuff here. So T0B1. I think they're just going to call him Toby the whole show. This was produced by Science Saru, the same people that are producing the other show. In this yellow box, we have the show Keep Your Hands Off Aizuken. So this is a kind of, it seems like a more childlike show. Not like it's for kids, but it's a little bit more fun and that fun kind of action, kind of like the first generation of Naruto was. And apparently this show is really renowned for its animation because they animate everything. You know, they animate the leaves in the trees and the dust on the sidewalk and fans in the distance. Apparently there's a lot of animation that makes this show. That's what people love about it, apparently. So the fact that this company is already known for incredible animation is really exciting. Okay, that means that we're going to see some amazing stuff with Toby here. I'm just calling him Toby because I'm pretty sure that's just what they're going to call him. What's up, Average? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. So the theme of the show is he's a droid and he wants to become a Jedi. So from the information that I've seen a lot of Pinocchio parallels. It seems like this Toby is going to struggle with wanting to be a real boy, so to speak, or wanting to be. Maybe they don't allow droids into the Jedi Council, right? Droids are not allowed because they're not real people or something like that. So Toby here is going to struggle with that. And it says that the quote that I read was that he's going to give up on his dreams for something bigger. So I'm not sure what that means, but we do know that he is, he wants to become a Jedi, but maybe he's going to realize what he doesn't want is to become a Jedi. Maybe he just wants to help people. Maybe he just wants to be a hero. Maybe he doesn't need to be in the Jedi Council or something, or a member of the Jedi Temple or something like that. What's up, Patrick? Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. So yeah, this guy looks, I mean, from what I've seen, it looks like a Pinocchio story, a Star Wars version of Pinocchio. So that's what I'm predicting right now. Okay, you heard it here first. It's going to be Star Wars Pinocchio. This Star Destroyer looks very interesting. So I don't. It looks very cartoony and blotchy. It seems like a really weird piece of concept art to include, but it's nice to know that they're going to include some of those familiar things that we know. A lot of people are saying that he is resemblant of Astro Boy. I think that this makes me think of Mega Man. This looks like the Mega Man like cartoon that was out there, the same style of Mega Man. So I think this might be more like a Mega Man thing. But anyways, I think that's all I have to say about this one. I'm not super excited about this one, but some people, this is the one that they're looking forward to the most. So I know that everybody has a really different opinion on all these different shows. And I think that's all I have to say about that one. I think we're almost at the end here for shows. I think that we have, I think this is the last one. A lot of talking today, no breaks. I usually spend more time reading comments, but today I'm just like presentation mode, hammering through this. Okay, so this one's called The Ninth Jedi. I think this one might be the one I'm looking forward to the most. This one, then maybe the twins, and then maybe the Elder. Maybe those are my top three. But I don't know. I'm starting to, the ones that I weren't looking forward to before are the ones that I'm like really looking forward to now. So getting flashbacks to that one-shot comic where R2 unit was force sensitive on Tatooine, who damaged himself in order to make sure. Oh, it's interesting. I haven't read that. Haven't heard of that. That sounds, let me go back to that. Yeah, so he wants to be a Jedi, but maybe droids can't be force sensitive. So maybe that's the reason. Like he's probably going to want to become a part of the Jedi Order somehow. But maybe because he can't be force sensitive, they won't let him in. I think that would be a really good that's a really good point there, Sev. That could be the reason why. Maybe not just because he's a droid, because he can't be force sensitive. Maybe he'll be the first droid to become force sensitive. Who knows? Okay, The Ninth Jedi. So what's exciting for me and a lot of people is the fact that it's made by Production IG, and they are best known for Attack on Titan. They did the Evangelion movies, the original first two, so the rebirth and the end of Evangelion. They didn't do the show itself, just the movies, I guess, which I kind of found surprising. Psychopaths, which is a very popular anime, and Kuroko no Basket, which is an anime about basketball, and it is freaking huge. Okay, it is a massive anime, super popular. So all of these animes here they're all Titans. Okay, no no pun intended for the Attack on Titan. What excites me is that Attack on Titan does sword fighting very well. And the exciting thing about it, just like Kill la Kill, is that the combat fight scenes, they're never just like a shot on two people fighting. The camera's all over the place. The people are all over the place. It's going to be it's like acrobatic fighting, which we see in Kill la Kill and which we see in Attack on Titan. They know how to do that, and they know how to do it very well, which is really exciting because this show has a lot to do about Jedi, and there are going to be a lot of Jedi in this show. Well, 8 Jedi. 8 Jedi we know about for sure. So that's exciting. Evangelion, awesome combat too. Very acrobatic, very all over the place. So we can expect some really cool stuff here. But after reading the story, it sounds more like there's going to be a lot of dramatic or drama aspects to the show. So this is a two-parter project. So this show, The Ninth Jedi, is actually getting 2 episodes, which is really exciting because that means that they can do a whole lot more with them because they have 2 episodes to do it. You know what I mean? So, I just had a Josh moment. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So the first episode is going to maybe highlight, no, they're not going to be 2 separate stories. They're merged, but at one point they were going to be 2. So the first story was about the daughter of a lightsaber smith seeking out Jedi to deliver their weapons. So could it be? This takes place after the Rise of Skywalker as well. So it's kind of weird that they say that it takes place after the Rise of Skywalker because there are no freaking Jedi left after the Rise of Skywalker. The whole sequel trilogy did not do anything to rebuild the Jedi Order in any way. So after Episode 9, it is the same ending as after Episode 6. There's no more Jedi. I was really excited to see more Jedi come back in the sequels and maybe a new Jedi Order. No, just Rey and Kylo. Okay, I'm going down a side path here. But the point is that who are these Jedi that she's delivering these lightsabers to? Right? Is she going to be? Do they know the Jedi that they're hiding it to? They know where the Jedi are hiding out, and they're trying to get them weapons. Do they not know where the Jedi are? They're just trying to find them and get them weapons. So who the Jedi that they're looking for? There's a lot to be said there. Patrick, kind of fight camera distance from the fight sounds really neat. Yeah, exactly. What Evangelion did really good in that movie, the end of Evangelion, is the fight scenes they would because those are giant mecha robots, right? So they would do like a zoom of the robots fighting hand to hand very close, and then they would do a zoom out, like a wide lens to show you the scale of everything that was happening, and then they would zoom in on something else and highlight how small the people were compared to they would do all these different things with the angles that made it really exciting. So that tells me that when we see them fighting, we're going to see the footwork planting in the ground and the dust shuffling under their heels, and then we're going to see the robes in the wind, and then we're going to see the lightsabers clash, and then it might zoom out and show them hopping around a little bit. Who knows? That's glad you pointed it out, Patrick. My voice is already starting to go. This was a lot of talking. Usually I'm reading comments more. So the second story is about 8 warriors coming together. So we know that there are 8 different Jedi. They're all very strong in the Force. They're all Force sensitive. We know this already. That's not speculation. And what we do know is that they come together, and we can kind of see that. Let me move this picture here. We kind of see that here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe this guy's the 7th. Maybe we're missing the 8th somewhere. Who knows? But these Jedi come together, and I know that there's going to be an issue with these warriors coming together because they're not sure if they can trust each other, or that's I think that's my speculation, or maybe that's something that I read. But they're going to come together, but they're not going to be sure, and we can see that in this picture here. This guy looks suspicious. Okay, so they look like they're not totally sold on whatever it is that they're looking at or what someone's proposing to them. They seem skeptical, which they have to be because maybe the Jedi were hunted. Maybe they missed out on everything that happened in the sequel trilogy because this takes place after episode 9. Maybe they missed it all. They still think the Jedi are being hunted. Did they still hunt Jedi in the sequel trilogy era? I don't think so because the clones are all gone. So there's no chips executing Order 66 anymore. So I don't know why they don't trust each other. I don't know why there's this trust issue, but it might make it interesting. Or maybe the issues, like, I think that they are going to struggle to trust each other. But in this picture here, this is a girl, this girl here, and I'm assuming that she's going to be the daughter of the lightsaber smith, right? She's delivering these lightsabers, and she meets these people, and they don't trust her. Maybe like this guy looks like he's protecting her, like she's trying to show them some kind of plan that they have on a map here, and he's trying to say, no guys, hold up, let's hear her out, right? Because they all have their lightsabers drawn. Or maybe this is some kind of ceremony. Maybe all these people are anointing this guy as a Jedi. We've seen it in the Star Wars the 2003 cartoon. This exact same thing happened with Anakin when they made him a Jedi Knight. I'm not sure if we've seen it again in the animated series, maybe, but maybe this is some kind of ritual. But I don't know what the hell she's doing on the ground with this map then. So this looks very skeptical to me. But again, I only included 3 pictures here. There's a lot more concept art. So at some point she gets a lightsaber, and this kind of looks like she has 3 hands here. 1, 2, 3. At some point she gets a lightsaber and she's fighting someone, and this looks like a red blade, right? But these all look like red blades. So are these enemies? Maybe these aren't the 8 at all. Maybe these are different. Maybe this is they're trying to convince the Sith of something. Who knows, right? Who knows? This looks very red to me. I have no idea why there's a black blade with a red glow to it. So if anybody has any ideas or theories, let me know. But she's going to end up fighting one of them anyway. So the last thing that we should touch on here is the fact that the show is called The Ninth Jedi, and there's about 8 warriors coming together and a girl who's seeking them out. Okay, so she's going to be the 9th Jedi. So it might not be about 9 Jedi. It's going to be about her becoming the 9th Jedi. So maybe this show is going to finally give us that Jedi rebuilding and order kind of a thing, right? And maybe she's going to be the young one, and they're not sure if they want to do this or not, right? Because last time the Jedi Order came together, actually, Luke made his own order, and they all got freaking nerfed. So it's twice in a row they tried to make a Jedi Order, and it just went to shit. So maybe they don't want to start another order. Maybe they don't want to let her in. But the fact that she's the 9th Jedi seems to be very important because they're counting her as the 9th Jedi. They're not just saying the new Jedi or the young Jedi. They're saying the 9th Jedi. So there's something important there in the numbers, or something important there in the fact that she's a new addition to the numbers. So that's just me speculating. Could be Sith or Darksiders, because that's what I'm excited for. Could be. Yeah, could be. Yeah, so that's it for that one. Like I said, I'm looking forward to this one, I think, the most. But my feelings are going to change as we see them or as we get more information about them. Anyway. Okay, so this is the last piece of information that we have here. So there's a novel coming out, a Star Wars Visions novel. And they said that, like, some sources have only said that it's connected to one of the episodes, but I found one source that said it was connected to the Duel. And that makes sense because if we scroll up here to the Duel, that looks like this guy, right? We look at this guy, take a look at him, take a look at his facial features, ponytail, his beard, his robes, his red lightsaber. And then we go down to the book, and it looks exactly the same. The robes look a little bit different, but they look like the same person. Is all of the speculation based on concept art? No, I've just done an incredible amount of digging. I've been keeping up to date on the updates and news and different, like, all these different studios have released a little bit of information. They've been quoted here and there saying something, like one line here, one line there. I've just taken all this information that I found and I put it together. So everything that we've seen, the dashes here are what we know, and I'm just kind of speculating off of that. So I'm just asking questions and I'm making theories, but what we do know is the points on the screen. So yeah, the information's out there. It's just incredibly hard to find, and that's why I made the stream, because I was trying to put it all in one place in a form that people could actually absorb it, and it wasn't just a 2-3 minute blast of this show is about twins. They're from the dark side. It's a little bit more in depth. So hell yeah, dude. Well, the thing is, I don't. Not very many people are posting about visions. People don't seem to want to speculate or theorize or anything. There's a void. I'm just filling the void. If no one else wants to be the Star Wars Visions guy, I'll be the Star Wars Visions guy. That's fine with me. Someone's got to do it. So I think I probably will do watch parties and stuff on this, or reactions or something like that. So I'm sure everybody's going to do reactions and stuff, because that's what the Star Wars creators do. But anyway, so we know that this is going to be okay. I'm just going to read this because it's kind of hard to explain. The Jedi are the most loyal servants of the Empire. That line alone, I read that, I'm like, did I read that wrong? The Jedi are the most loyal servants of the Empire. So we already know, like, this is going to be Star Wars in a way that we've never seen it. There's been quotes for this book that say, forget everything you know about the Jedi. That's how they've kind of come in and introduced this. Forget everything you know about the Jedi. So the Jedi are the most loyal servants of the Empire, which now we know. 2 decades ago, Jedi clans clashed in service to feuding lords. Sickened by this endless cycle, a sect of Jedi rebelled, seeking to control their own destiny and claim power in service of no master. They called themselves the Sith. So this seems kind of similar to the past, like what we know about Jedi and Sith history, right? They were all warriors with swords. They weren't lightsabers yet; they were swords. And that separation happened, I think, before they even had lightsabers. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems kind of similar to what we already know. Jedi clans clashed in service to feuding lords. So it seems like they have no choice but to help these lords out. Maybe they're soldiers in this universe, right? Who knows? But they have some kind of obligation and they have to fulfill it. So this might be like a loyalty thing to your country or your clan. You have to be in service of what your clan leaders want, your clan lords, because if you don't, you're going to get banished or exiled, or maybe if you don't agree with something that your clan lord says, they want to freaking execute you or something. Who knows? But that's kind of, everyone's a Jedi. Everyone's a soldier. Everyone is a guardian, whatever. The point is that they all start off on the same page. So the people that have had enough of serving these lords, they defect and they rebel, and they call themselves the Sith. So what we know about the Sith is that the Sith was a religion that these original defectors found themselves. They found this religion and they worked it into their own philosophies. So again, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how that worked. The Sith is a religion. It's just a religion that the defecting Jedi took on. Again, please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going by memory here. Okay, a lot to pick apart here. The Sith rebellion failed, so they weren't successful, succumbing to infighting and betrayal, and the once rival lords unified to create an empire. But even an empire at peace is not free of violence. So it kind of sounds like the Sith are the heroes in this. The Sith sound like they're the good guys, kind of. So maybe that's what they're saying about forget everything you know about the Jedi. Maybe the Sith are the heroes here, because they rebel, they lose, these feuding lords that are in this endless cycle of destroying each other and searching for power finally unite and create an empire. This doesn't sound like the good guys. So it really doesn't sound like the Jedi are the good guys here, because the Jedi are the most loyal servants of the Empire. So it seems kind of like mindless loyalty, just doing what you have to because of your obligation to your clan or to your leaders. And this is going to be a novel. That's right. It's going to be a novel for sure. So even an Empire peace is not free from violence. So the Sith are still not happy about it. But I'm assuming after the rebellion fails, they still call themselves the Sith. So what happens to them after it fails? It just says that they succumbed. So are they imprisoned? Do they just fucking leave and start their own shit somewhere else? Far on the edge of the Outer Rim, one former Sith wanders. So it seems like the survivors probably scattered. So this episode might start with this rebellion, right? And the people rebelling, after they lose, they all scatter and separate because they can't be there anymore. They lost, and they've already established that they're not going to serve the Empire. So it seems like they all just kind of took off or escaped. Maybe there was some in prison. Maybe there's some executed. One former Sith wanders, accompanied by a faithful droid. So we do see in the concept art for the Duel, this guy. Sometimes I point at the screen and I realize you guys can't see where I'm pointing. There's concept art of this guy with a droid. I think it looks like an astro droid or something, but it has a giant hat, a giant straw hat. It's hilarious. I love it so much. Maybe best droid, maybe new best droid. But I really hope that we get to see more of the straw hat droid or hear about it in this book. Faithful droid and the ghost of a less civilized age. So what they might mean by a ghost is that it's not like a literal ghost, but he carries with him the knowledge and the experience and tradition and the old world, right? How things were before the Empire, right? It says 2 decades ago. So that means 20 years ago. So this will take place 20 years after this. So the show might start with a flashback, and then we'll see him 20 years later, right? But he remembers it, just like it's going to be how it is with Kenobi in the Kenobi show. Obi-Wan carries the ghost of a more civilized age, as he would put it. That's just my speculation anyway. He carries a lightsaber, but claims no lineage to the Jedi clan, and pledges allegiance to no lord. So again, this sounds very similar to Kenobi or Old Ben, right? Old Ben didn't go around telling people he was a Jedi. He kept that a secret, right? Because this guy probably knows he was a part of the Sith. He was a part of the rebellion, and they all are probably being headhunted. So he's probably just telling people, I just found this lightsaber off a dead body. I'm not a Jedi. Please don't kill me. Little is known about him, including his name, for he never speaks of his past nor his regrets. His history is as guarded as the red blade of destruction that he carries sheathed at his side. Red blade of destruction. It's interesting because we know the Sith are the traditional enemies, but it sounds like the Sith are the good people in this story. But they call it a red blade of destruction. He's wearing black robes in this picture, right? The show is going to be black and white with highlighted colors. This novel is black and white with highlighted colors. Red Star Wars, red lightsaber, red around his name, Ronin. So, and the red is seen as a color of destruction. So, I don't know who the hell the good guys are, who the hell the bad guys are, but this guy seems like, I keep thinking that he's going to be a good guy, but a red blade of destruction. Maybe he's destroying evil. Who knows? As the galaxy's perpetual cycle of violence continues to erupt, his self-imposed exile. Let's slow that down here. As the galaxy's perpetual cycle of violence continues to interrupt his self-imposed exile. So he's gonna continue to be drawn into combat or situations that he doesn't want to be a part of. It's interrupting his exile. He's trying to be alone, but he can't because he keeps getting sucked into this cycle of violence that we see. We saw at the beginning 20 years ago, and the cycle. 20 years later, there's still a perpetual cycle of violence. So the galaxy just really seems to be at each other's throats in this time period. Seems like a rough time to be alive, man. this guy's lived through some shit, and he's forced to duel an enigmatic bandit claiming the title of Sith. So what's really interesting about this line here, he is forced to duel. What show is he connected to? The Duel, right? He's forced to duel. So is this the same duel? Is this novelization going to be a continuation of the book? Is it a side story? Is it an extension? Is it just, is part of that episode going to be the first chapter of this book? You know, I don't know, but he's going to duel an enigmatic bandit claiming the title of Sith. So this guy's probably not a Sith, and he knows it because he was a Sith, or he is a Sith. But this guy, maybe he just found a lightsaber and he says that he's a Sith. Samurai Jack much? Yeah, pretty much. So the fact he doesn't claim that he's a Sith, but it seems like he's kind of pissed off that there's this other guy out here saying that he's a Sith, claiming to be a Sith. So they're going to end up in a duel. He's forced to duel. He's going to be, okay, so he's not going to seek this guy out and be like, hey, you're not a Sith. He's going to be put in a situation where he has to. Now, is he forced to duel this guy on honor? Is he forced to fight this guy because this bandit is, I don't know, doing some criminal bandit shit? And he's got to, I don't know, maybe he's dueling him because the Sith guy, or the not Sith guy, is calling him out for being a Sith. And he's trying to defend his honor or something. Actually, no, that doesn't really make sense because he's trying to prove that he's not a Sith. Anyway, I am kind of rambling here. It becomes clear that no amount of wandering will ever let him outpace the specters of his former life. So this guy's trying to self-exile, and it just keeps coming back to haunt him, the past. So this sounds very much like Kenobi. This guy seems like Sith version of Kenobi, and we don't know if the Sith are heroes or villains in this. They might be villains, right? Maybe I'm just interpreting this whole first paragraph here as totally backwards. Maybe their rebellion is horrible. Maybe, oh no, they're trying to end the cycle of violence. So it doesn't make sense. I'm predicting that the Sith are going to be seen as the heroes in this. They're just totally flipping this Star Wars universe on its head. The Sith are going to be seen as heroes, or maybe not heroes. Maybe no one's a hero. Maybe there's no good and evil, just a matter of opinion and perspective. So yeah, that would force him to fight for sure. I can see that. Okay, guys, that is my whole presentation. I hope it was good. This is the most preparation I've ever put into a stream. So thanks for joining me on this ride. I hope it helps people. If you're watching this not live, I hope it gave you everything that you wanted. It helped you out. So I know that a ton of the regulars aren't in here, but we are still going to do the winners for the tier challenge. And I don't think this person is in here yet, but the winner of the Discord tier challenge was Mr. Fett. He had the most votes. We had, I think, 11 entries. Hang on, let me remove this. I think we had 11 entries into the tier challenge, and he had the most votes. Most people liked his tiers. So the tiers were 150 different characters, Star Wars characters, and you rank them like S tier, A tier, B tier, whatever. And people liked his the best. So congrats, Mr. Fett. You were the winner of the first Discord challenge. You're going to receive the first ever digital award Discord trophy, if you will, a plaque. And you can just keep that and do whatever you want with it. But yeah, I'm hoping to do more Discord challenges like that. So if you're not in the Discord, please join if you haven't. And we're trying to do some more fun stuff. We're trying to build a community there. So that's all I got to say on that. Sorry, I missed your comments here. Glad I was able to catch this bit live. Okay, well, thanks for coming by, Patrick. Thanks for generating conversation and asking questions. Taking the reins and publishing content surrounding vision seems like most people. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. You know, maybe I'll have to clip this whole stream into different little mini episodes so that people can watch the videos on their own. But the stream is here for those who want them. So thank you guys so much for coming. I think that that is all that I had prepared. I actually went over an hour, which is very surprising. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll just plug this a little bit at the end. The YouTube gods don't want to monetize my channel for whatever reason, even though I've exceeded the expectations for channel monetization. So all the channel memberships are done through Patreon, and you get recognized in the Discord for your membership. You get your perks there. And if anyone ever wants to donate to the channel, because I don't have super chats, there's a donation link in the description. It's all through PayPal. So if you want to make your $1, $5, whatever donation, it's all through PayPal. It works exactly the same, and you will be recognized and acknowledged for it if it doesn't pop up on the screen here like it does for other YouTubers. I know they got it so good. I got to jump through all these hoops to have all the same stuff, but yeah, that's all I got, guys. Thank you so much for watching. May the Force be with you.